you shouldn't be nice and be kind instead. And it was funny because I was like, oh, I was helping every single person, even the people that I really didn't. And what person's right mind means that you want to do it? You know, I don't have a personality. My only personality was being
with you. Play your favorite movie, laying right beside me. I don't mind when it's just us.
Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Hope you had an amazing week, amazing Valentine, amazing month so far. So today I'm going to be talking about why you shouldn't be nice and be kind instead. This is specifically going to my people pleasers out in the world because I know I was, and I'm kind of still, I'm trying to, it's still a work in progress, but I am doing much better than what I was a couple years ago. I say so myself. So let's get right to the video. So, people pleaser is a person who, let's look this up. What is a people pleaser? Okay, people pleaser is someone everyone considers helpful and kind when you need help with a project or someone. Yeah, people pleaser is someone who regularly takes on extra work even if they do not have the time. Often overcommitted to plans, responsibilities, or projects. Avoids advocating for themselves and their own needs, such as by saying they are fine or they are not. Avoids disagreeing with people or voicing their honest opinion. So I was for many years like this, just because of course it had a lot to do with the communication, but it also had to do with the very fact that I was the oldest in my family, and I always tried to avoid arguments, tried to be agreeable, and didn't want to voice my opinion because it always seemed like there was no point. And I always wanted to be helpful, and because I don't know, there was really no reason. I just wanted to be helpful and nice, and my way of doing that was to help them in any way possible, even if it was overlapped over my plans or having me to do more work than I really in reality had to. So for many years I did this, from school to my jobs, and just continued off throughout life. So I always felt like I always had to do more and help as much as possible and just be overall helpful and nice. That's always what I thought. I was like, okay, I'll be helpful and I'm gonna be nice, and people, they're gonna like me because I'm helpful. And how simple as that. There's nothing else to it. So I thought that was the method to go with. So I was like, okay, let's try it. And it was funny because I was like, oh, I was helping every single person, even the people that I really didn't even like. I helped them. Why? Because I just wanted to be helpful. I wanted to please them. I did not want them to not dislike me. Oh my gosh, I never had a personality because I always tried not only to people please, but I was also masking, I guess. I was changing my personality. I let's be honest, I didn't even have a personality. I just completely copied other people's personality, or I noticed little things that they liked about other people and I just did it myself. Or I just wanted to be a very liked person by everyone. Don't care by who, but I wanted to be liked by everyone. So when I went to college, I noticed, I was like, man, I really don't have personality. And of course, that's one of the first times I noticed. I was like, yeah, I'm a people pleaser. And then the second time was when I actually started working in high school. I was always taking up extra work, always getting in situations where I had to overcommit or overpromise, even though I didn't want to, because it just kind of continued. Like, once you do it for 3 times, 4 times, your manager, your coworkers are gonna depend on you to do that work. Even if you're tired, even if you don't want to do it, or even if you have other plans, you're gonna have to do it. Why? Because you promised, or your old self promised them. And then they also would have high expectations on me. They would expect me to do it. So that was another way of you promising them you're gonna do it. And I always felt like a failure, especially with teachers or managers, when I didn't do it the way they wanted me to do it, and it was a complete struggle. They saw me as a failure. I was like, oh, I'm a failure because of that. But it never had nothing to do with me. First off, I want to tell you right now, it never has nothing to do with you. Their expectations on you has nothing to do with you, okay? You are not their expectations. You are not feel like a failure or anything, okay? Those are not your feelings, they're theirs. And I hated how they were able to just control my feelings and kind of like in a way force me to do these jobs or projects or stuff that I didn't want to do. By the age of 17, I think I was completely burned out from school, from working. I was just complete burnout because I was overcommitting and during school, and I was always overworked during my job. So I would have these like million clubs that I joined, and then overcommitted myself, like becoming secretary or becoming, president or something in those clubs. And then I would go to work and do most of the job because I overpromised that I was going to do all those stuff that they wanted me to do, or because they knew I could do it by myself. Sometimes I would be working by myself for 5 to 6 hour shifts and getting a whole bunch of, lunch rush or dinner rush or school rush all the time. I would always get a lot of customers all by myself. And once again, I don't know if y'all guys remember in my last videos, but I was working at Subway. So I would be doing not only like getting their orders, making their orders, but also getting them in the cash register. It was ridiculous how I was doing it. I don't know. But I was completely burned out by the age of 17. And I'm like, something has to give. Like, what is going on? I need to stop one of these. So of course, I didn't want to completely stop school. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to ask for less work, less hours, and hopefully it works out. Nope. Actually, probably made it work. And I was like, because they already expected me to do all of stuff, and me saying like, okay, I want less. They got mad because they depended on me on doing it, because no one else was going to do it except me. And I was like, no, I'm not going to do what you're paid doing other people's jobs. And that was ridiculous. So I was like, I can't do it. So I was like, you know what, I'm just going to probably quit for now. Now I told them if I need to, I have to come back, but I just need to quit for now because I'm being I'm not feeling it anymore. I was tired, completely and utterly tired. And I remember that was the year when I was completely burned out. Was the year where I had a car crash that I did myself. Like, I didn't hit no one. I just completely, I forgot what it's called, but I just, rolled over with my car a few times, and I was okay. But I was like, at this point, I need to like kind of stop working for a minute, take a step back, because I just felt overwhelmed. Ridiculous. I just felt overwhelmed. School, I would do all these community service. I would do at least 50 hours. I'm not even kidding. I would do over 50 hours per semester during school, because I would overdo it. I would get in so many clubs that I would have to do, and each club would have to do community service. So I'd have to do community service at each club, which kind of totaled out to be over 50 hours. It was ridiculously amount. It was a ridiculous amount. And let me just tell you, they told me it was because, you're going to get a lot of scholarships. Or you're going to get it. It's going to look good in your college applications. First off, those are lies. I'm just going to tell you right now, those are lies. Okay? Don't do it. Don't overwork yourself. Do what you like. Don't get in all those clubs that you don't want to, just because they tell you, it's gonna look good. And no. If you want to do extracurricular, don't do all of them. Just do at least 2 or 3. I don't know, one year I did over 10. Yeah, 10 clubs, I think. And those were all the clubs that they had in my high school. If they had more, I probably would have done more. And plus, it kind of adds up. So, like, I'm done being a people pleaser, and I just went straight to being like kind of mean, dissociating. They don't want to talk to nobody, and they continued off. That was like the last year of school too, and it kind of continued off in college. I wanted to be nice, but I didn't want to be to the point where I'm gonna end up doing other people's work. I don't want to do that. How we're taking over, or given extra work. I didn't want. So I was like, I want to be nice, but I don't want to be taking advantage to doing other people's work. I didn't want to do that. So I was like, okay. I always hear there's a difference between nice and kind. What's the difference? I never knew what the difference was. I was like, aren't they like the same thing? Nope. Tell you right now, no. Kind people are more assertive. Kind people think about themselves before they think about others. And people, whenever they hear, think about themselves before others, that's not kind. Yeah, it is. Trust me, yes, it is. Once you love yourself, you're able to love other people. You're able to help other people. There's a reason that in airplanes where they have that airdrop, there's a reason they always tell you, put the airbag first on you and then put it on the other person next to you. There's a reason why. That's the way you're supposed to look at life. You're supposed to put yourself first because no one will, okay? No one will. So that's the first step I want you to take. To be kind, you have to be kind to yourself first. You have to put boundaries. You have to be more assertive. And if someone asks you something, if they ask you to do something, if they ask you if you can go to this event, whatever it can be, if they ask you and the answer's not right away yes, then it's a no. Simple as that. It's a no. And people are like, what? No. And if they don't, people are like, oh, well, then I'm not going to get invited. If they don't invite you because you said no to that one thing, or you're more assertive, well, then that's on them. You don't need those people. That's what I always say. You need to learn to love yourself and learn to be on your own, because you're going to be constantly like, oh, I have to say yes because then I'm not going to get invited, or I'm not going to be part of it. No, you have to learn to love yourself, and you're going to attract those people. If it's not those people that you're surrounded with, you're going to attract people who do love you the way you do. I always say that you have to be more assertive. Stop people pleasing. I people please, but to the people I love. If you really what? No, because I love helping. That brings me happy, but I'm not going to do it to like a job. Like I have boundaries. I'm not going to do it to people who I work with. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it people I go to school with. No, thank you. One of my love language is acts of service. I love doing acts of service for people. I love cleaning or doing some work for them or even helping them on a project. I can do that. That's so simple for me. I love it. I love seeing them how happy it makes them. But there's a difference from being a people pleaser and doing acts of service. I do it because I love them and I want to do it. But if you do not want to do that work or that project and they're not paying you to do it, then don't do it. Just simple as that. Don't do it. Why will you do it? Because they have an expectation? I don't care about your expectations. You're not their expectations, okay? You're your own expectations. That's why I always say, love yourself first. Learn what you are expected to do for yourself. Have an expectation list. Have what are your boundaries. Write them down. I want you to write all of these down because I want you to learn them. And whenever someone asks you, and if the answer is not right away yes, don't go. Simple and easy as that. Don't go. I do not want to go. I don't want to do it. Just no. Like, someone said this. Our no is a sentence in itself. You don't even have to give an explanation. I always see constantly, especially women, telling explanations on reasons why they don't want to do it. Don't be like Phoebe Buffet. She just said no, and it was so simple. They asked her why. She had some no. It's just as simple as that. You don't have to feel responsible for other people's feelings either. Okay? I always felt such a people pleaser was because I didn't want to make them feel bad, or I didn't want them to think about me this way, get them upset, or whatever it may be. But the thing is, if they're asking you to do the project, it's because they don't want to do it, or they're asking you to do the work, they don't want to do it. In what person's right mind means that you want to do it, Unless you do, and you don't allow being a nice person be a survival skill, you know what I mean? Because I I was having as a survivor skill because I didn't want to upset anyone. I didn't want other people to put them in a situation they don't want. I also didn't want to have conflicts. Who cares? You're gonna have to have conflict. And if you don't have those conflicts, then you're just gonna have a lot of people walk all over you and end up making you do a lot of extra work that you don't even have to. Or people are just gonna take advantage, and we don't want that. We do not want that. So I'm telling you right now, have a boundary list. What are your boundaries? What are your limits? Okay? I want you to be like that. Learn the difference from being nice and kind. Nice people are people pleaser. Are people who let them walk all over them, okay? Or nice people is a persona, okay? And kind people are assertive. They have their authenticity. They're authentic. No one can tell them nothing but they're kind, okay? I want you to still be a kind person, okay? You don't have to go, because a lot of people who end up trying to remove from being a people pleaser end up being just completely evil, mean. No, you don't have to go to that extreme either, okay? I want you to go exactly in the middle where you're kind and have assertiveness. You have boundaries. You have limits. But don't be a person now. Just say no to everything. Now, if you don't feel like it, okay, that's a reasonable reason. Okay? Be authentic. That's it. That's as simple as that. Once I went to college and I was by myself, by myself. My parents were not there. I had no one I knew in college. I was like, what the heck? I was there by myself. I was like, man, I don't have a personality. My only personality was being nice. How boring is that? And I did have a few people who were like, this is not you. And I'm like, yeah, it isn't. I just wanted to be nice. I wanted to be liked by people. I'm going to tell you right now, you don't like half of the people you say you like. I'll tell you something right now. You don't like a lot of people either. A lot of people are not going to like you. It's okay. Who cares? You don't have to like everybody. Right? So they don't have to like you either. You don't have to convince them. Being your nice personality is not going to work. You need to stop being nice. Be kind. Be assertive. Have boundaries. And be authentic. Be yourself. And if you're like, I don't know who I am, figure it out. That's what I'm telling you. I want you to be on your own for a while. Most of the time, when you don't know who you are, is because you're constantly trying to avoid it. You're trying to avoid being on your own. Don't avoid it. Go head first and start learning who you are. Learn all of the things that you don't like. That's as simple as that. Don't learn all the things you like and just go off of that. It's kind of a ripple effect. Slowly you'll learn who you are and completely desert that nice persona, because we don't need it. We don't need her, him, them, whatever it may be. We don't need them. Honestly, that's it. Hope you guys have an amazing day, amazing week, and an amazing rest of the month. See y'all next week. Bye.
Lazy Sunday mornings, hiding under covers. I don't mind staying in with you. Play your favorite movie, laying right beside me. I don't mind when it's just us two. That corner coffee shop we like